I could tell you how painful this has been doing this guy's stage 5 times over, but I'm going to spare you. All you really need to know is that everything that could have gone wrong while doing this has gone wrong, and it couldn't have happened in a worse stage than this. Alright, let's pick ourselves up. Try to be happy again. I'm so depressed. Anyway, Launch Octopus's stage is the hardest in the game. Plain and simple. Harder than any of the Sigma stages at the end of the game. Harder than any other Robot Masters in the game. And if we're lucky, we will get through here just looking moderately good at the game. There's a ton of enemies. There's 3 mini-bosses. An extra optional mini-boss. Not even a sub-tank, just a heart tank. No armor either. There's nothing in this disgusting wasteland. All you get is a bunch of shit. And to top it all off, Launch Octopus really isn't even that hard. It just disappoints you in a way. You'd think he'd be fighting Pharaoh Man or Shadow Man after a long, annoying stage like this. Nah. Anyway. First mini-boss. I call him the Vacuum Fish. I'm sure all these guys have names, I just don't know what they are. His main attack is to shoot those eels at you, but he also has the ability to suck you towards him and try to damage you by making you hit him. However, he's not very good at it. He'll make up for that later, however. These guys are in just about every Mega Man X game I can think of that has a water stage. Well, at least most of them. I know they're in 3 and 4. Or 2 and 4. I don't think they can hurt you by eating you. Maybe if you stay in there for a long time. But you can blow them open so it doesn't really matter. Here we go. This guy is annoying. He has more or less the same attack pattern as the one we just fought. Just a different color scheme, and he also has the ability to blow you around. Of course, as you can probably guess just by looking at this area, what he's trying to do is he's trying to make you fall on those spikes. Unfortunately, he's pretty bad at it, because his attack does something weird to this game's physics, or lack thereof, and Mega Man sort of just bounces around when he gets pulled in one way or the other down in there. You can dash and jump out of it, and Mega Man will look like he's hitting the spikes, but he's really not. Moving on, we're near the end of the stage. These things don't seem to have an obvious purpose at first, but they are used for something. I'll show you in just a second. Let's get over these spikes, and let this one carry us up. You see that missile? In this area, they're being dropped from this weird ship up here. This thing can be destroyed. We're not going to do it right now, however. Doing that will lead you to the optional mini-boss. It itself is optional in its destruction. I guess it could count as another mini-boss since it takes forever. We're not going to fight him in this level, or this recording rather, because it would stretch this level out even longer than it already is, and we'd go over the time limit. Fuck that. Let's just get the shit over with. Last mini-boss we're going to fight this episode is the Sea Snake. There's actually another one of them. That's the optional boss. And he's easier than the fish guys. He just takes a really long time to kill. You can hit him in either his head or his tail. And not only does he have a lot of health, but you aren't really able to hurt him at most times, so the fight's drawn out even longer. He does a good amount of damage if he hits you, however. Not enough to excuse the overall ease of destroying him, however. I mainly just rapid fire him. Charging draws it out even longer. As you saw earlier, you can stand on these circular portions of his body. And you can let him carry you around, sort of. Typically, he goes back in that sand a lot more, but he seems content to just swim around in circles above my head like a retard right now. I think he's going back in the sand now. Yeah. He burrows and comes out of a... or not. He burrows typically and comes out of a random part of the ground. And just draws the fight out even longer. We're right in front of the boss's front door now. Ugh. One recording, I just zipped right between those guys without getting damaged. I felt so proud. Every other time I try to get to that area, I get hit a bunch of times. Alright. Launch Octopus. Weak against Rolling Shield. Doesn't do an enormous amount of damage to him, but his main attack is shooting projectiles. A ton of projectiles. And Rolling Shield eats them up. Alright, let's get on with it. Don't rapid fire at him. It's pointless. Mainly because, like all other bosses, he has that split second, or not split second, but I think a full second of invincibility. And Rolling Shield doesn't have that much ammunition. So you're going to run out before you kill him if you do that. You might have that happen anyway, but he should be nearly dead once you expend all your ammo. Right, back to Rolling Shield. As you can see, his projectiles are pretty ineffective against the Rolling Shield. Finally. I can see how he'd be hard with just the Mega Buster, but even then, he's not that bad. Another Maverick now. That color really fits you, Megaman. From beating Launch Octopus, we get Homing Torpedo. Very useful. In some areas where it's not easy to hit enemies, you can use the Homing Torpedo and hit things, for example, over your head. It becomes more practical than the Buster in some situations, and it's probably overall the most useful weapon in the game. Anyway, that's all for now. Next episode we'll be fighting, I'm not sure. I think we'll be fighting Boomer Kuwanger. But anyway, we'll see.